Hello YouTube, this is Bloodfinger here, bringing you another video topless. I kind of have this kind of prepared couple of words that may offend or shock some of you, but I'm not going to get into details as to what I thought about doing, but it's not going to actually happen in real life. I mean, I mostly act out my fantasies in video games, but there has been times when I thought about doing some pretty nasty stuff. For example, like, I want to come up with an example, but I don't want people to get the wrong idea, so I probably should not give out any more information on that. But I've had thoughts about doing some pretty screwed up things, sometimes to my own family. For example, my young aunt who lives in Pennsylvania, not far from where I live, I used to have a lot of perverted sexual fantasies about her. Seeing my aunt naked, wanting to see my aunt naked. I never got to touch her butt, but I got to touch her back. I think it was with this hand or this hand. I forget which hand it was. But to be honest with you guys, I liked her a lot. Nowadays, she's a complete fucking skank who wants absolutely nothing to do with me. Nothing to do with me at all. And she can suck somebody else off for all I care. I'm not going to lose sleep over her rejection. I could sleep just fine without her. Even though I found somebody else. And I'm sure she found somebody else by now too. But I'm saying back in when I was still in school, when I was like really young, I had the biggest fucking crush on her in the history of mankind. I know it's gonna sound creepy and weird at the same fucking time, but yes, I had a crush on my young aunt. Not my aunt that I went to visit at the hotel, but my young aunt on my mother's side of the family. I'm not gonna say her name because it's nobody's fucking business. I'm just gonna call her Jill, after Jill Roberts from Scream 3. Shit, no, I'm sorry, Scream 4, sorry. Jill was my crush back in the day. And before you jump to conclusion, I'm using the name Jill to describe my young aunt. She's like really young. She's like in her 20s now. Back then she was younger than that. And yes, I had a fucking crush on her, yes. But she doesn't need to worry about me anymore. I'm not gonna hurt her. I'm not gonna fucking do anything to her. Yes, I had a fucking crush on her, but I'm over it now. There isn't a day that goes by where I still fucking think about her. She is avoiding me. She won't even let me talk to her on the phone. And I say, all I gotta say is, oh well, life goes on. Now, Jill Roberts, I'm going to call her Jill Roberts because there's another Jill that I know who actually is named Jill that I'm not going to mention on here, but I don't want the people that I know personally to get confused with Jill of their world than the Jill in my world. She looks like a Jill, she talks like a Jill. I had the biggest crush on her back in the day. Back when I was little. I used to kiss her from time to time because I liked her a lot. Nowadays, she won't even fucking talk to me. She fucking hates me. And with good reason, too. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, but she doesn't want to talk to me anymore because I had a crush on her. And that she was my aunt. But back in the day, I didn't fucking care. I had the biggest fucking crush on her. I thought it was normal. Clearly it isn't. But at the time, I thought it was normal. I may sound like a sick bastard, but I had no other woman in my life other than my mother. At the time. She was the one fucking woman I came in contact with that was not at my school. And I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck is wrong with me? But at the same time, I didn't care. I loved her as if she was... I loved her a lot. And yes, I was in love with her, but I never actually did anything to her to get her this upset with me. Yeah, she's my aunt. Even though I found somebody else, my heart still beats for her for some bizarre reason. I hope that wherever she is, I hope she's happy. I hope she enjoys her job. And I hope that she can forgive me in the future. I hope that she'll come to her senses and forgive me. Now that's the end of that. My next subject may be even worse than the original. But what I have to say may shock you. It may scare you. It may creep you out. It may make you look me in weirder or stranger ways possible. But I wanted to become a cosplayer and scare actor, and how I was going to perform my character is if I look up some serial killer documentaries to figure out the perfect attitude for the character, whether it be a guy in a mask like I'm wearing right now with a long cloak or apron, or whatever the fuck they have over there at the haunt I want to work at. I'm not going to mention the name of the haunt because I want to work there. Even if I did get a job there, I'm not going to fucking mention the name on this channel because I've had my information used against me before. But at this haunt, I wanted to audition for one of their characters, but I don't know what kind of characters they have. I wanted to figure out the right attitude for the character. And not only study serial killer documentaries and interviews, but actually put the character together for this haunt. I may not be allowed to use any props, but there's got to be something I can do for the character. I got into cosplay because of Ghostface, not because of people like the Golden State Killer or Richard Ramirez. I'm not talking about being like them. I'm talking about using their I don't know if experience is the right word, but using their personalities to create the perfect haunt acting character and scare the visitors at the hotel. And by the way, this is a paying job, so I'll be paid to scare people at the haunt. I wanted to get a job at a haunt so fucking bad. I wanted to perform my character without any hesitation. And watching these true crime documentaries and interviews, I thought was going to help me. But all it did was get me to where I am now with my therapist and the people of the home that are now scared of me again because of my interest in true crime. Well, I can assure you, nobody's going to get hurt And I'm not going to hurt myself. I just wanted to study these killers so I could perform the perfect haunt character. That is it. I'm not going to harm anybody. I'm not going to harm myself. But I want to be a good scare actor. I want to be a good scare actor. And this haunt may have the answers I'm looking for. I'm not talking about stilts. But I want the perfect costume. I want the perfect costume. I'm not talking about a mask or a boiler suit. I mean like an actual either trench coat or a fucking robe. Kind of like the Pumpkin Phantom, but with either a robe or a trench coat. I want the perfect costume. I want to create the perfect costume. I want to create the perfect character I can play for this channel and for the haunts. I want to create the perfect character for these haunts, for these conventions, for these activities. And watching these true crime docs may get me into the position I want already. Now it's a seasonal job, so I may not be able to do it every year, but when I'm able to, I'm able to. In case if you guys are wondering, the reason nobody can see my eyes is, well, rumor has it I have the devil's eyes. So when I wear a mask, like Ghostface for example, the inside of obviously my mask, becomes really dark in here. But I can see out in the eye mesh holes, but nobody can see inside, which is a good thing. And I did not add any more extra eye mesh for the robe. I'm sorry, for the mask, excuse me. But when it comes to being a scare actor, I want to create the perfect character if I start my own haunt one day and bring with me some actor, maybe pass down the knowledge from myself to my other actors. Kind of like a following of some sort, but I'm not talking about making a cult. I'm not doing that. I'm not talking about starting a cult or a secret society or anything like that. But the knowledge of the Pumpkin Phantom must be passed down from master to apprentice. That's how I feel about the Pumpkin Phantom. Now there should be a different character other than the Phantom, other than Ghostface, to pass down their knowledge from themselves onto an apprentice. And after I'm gone, somebody else will continue my work for me. I don't know who that somebody is going to be, but I want that person. I don't care if it's a woman or a man. I don't care if it's a boy or girl. Somebody's going to carry on my work for me. And I'll be damn happy to know that my work is not going to be just in vain. I want somebody to take over for me after I'm gone. I say this because I want what I want. Okay. I'm going to end this video for now because I'm sure it's already strange and weird for most people that don't understand me. If you stick around, you might understand me even a little bit better. And for positive reasons. But if it's negative, find another YouTuber to harass. Ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, thank you so much for watching my videos. It really means a lot to me that people are taking an interest in my videos. Whether it be good reasons or bad reasons, thank you so much for watching. I love you all and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye, everybody.